ownership, I want to express our appreciation for Kwesi and for the time and effort he put into this role. These are never easy decisions because you're impacting a person and a family and someone we care about. We understand there'll be questions on the timing and why now. I think you know how we want to operate as owners. We want to avoid knee-jerk reactions, be pragmatic, thoughtful, methodical in making these decisions. And as we do each year, we held our end of the season organizational meetings over a couple of weeks and then spent this past week as an ownership group reviewing, discussing, and how best to move forward. This is a critical off-season. Ultimately, we felt the change was necessary in football operations and did not feel comfortable going forward into this off-season with the current leadership. It's not about any one decision or move. We looked at the situation cumulatively. We just didn't feel confident going through the entirety of the off-season, an additional draft, and free agency with this structure. We have an urgency to create a winning football team and establish sustainable success for our fans. At the same time, we balance that urgency with all decisions thoroughly and methodically. Winning football, that's what drives all our decision-making and is the core of all our efforts every single day. We have incredible fans. They deserve a winning team and a team that contend deep into the playoffs and win championships. As we said in our announcement, Rob Brzezinski will lead our football operations in the interim through the draft and will rely heavily on Kevin, the coaching staff, the talent evaluators we have on this personnel side. We have an excellent, strong organization. Rob brings tremendous credibility and experience, understands our roster, and has an innate ability to build consensus with coaches and personnel. In terms of the long term, certainly we will have conversations and begin laying the groundwork for a process now. But from a practical perspective of where we are on the football cycle, and in order to give ourselves the best outcome, we expect to conduct a thorough search to identify our next general manager after the draft. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Again, please add your names in the chat. We'll start with Matt, and then we'll go Kevin.
Hey, Mark, you mentioned just not being comfortable with the situation going forward with this structure. What was it specifically that you were not comfortable with in terms of Kwesi leading this offseason?
Well, it wasn't about any one decision, as I said. It was looking at the entirety of the last few years and not being comfortable moving forward. I think this is a long-term organizational decision, and we as ownership felt for our best path going forward that this was the move to make. And this is a critical offseason, as I said, and we felt the move was necessary at this time.
Yeah, Mark, I think definitely understand the thorough nature of it. I think fans and some of us might wonder why, if the team was eliminated in the playoffs when it was this year, why that whole process didn't start earlier and why it took until now to do that.
Well, like I said, the most important thing was getting this decision right. And like I said, we like to be methodical about all this. And we had our season-long, season-ending meetings and really took a deep dive look at not just any one thing, but over the past few years. And so we wanted to make sure we got the decision right. We talked to all the stakeholders, all the people involved in our football operations, and we really came to this decision in a methodical way. And that's the way we went about it, because this is about our long-term success. We have a strong basis and foundation here in this organization, and we want to make sure what positions us going forward to maximize our ability to strive and compete.
All right, Emily, go ahead.
Mark, will there be any further personnel moves on that operations side, just kind of given Kwesi and his team and anything?
Yeah, no, there'll be no further moves on that front. And like I said, we have tremendous confidence in Coach O'Connell, our coaching staff, and our entire football operations and scouting and evaluation team. So from all that perspective, no.
All right, let's go with Don, Ben, and Alec.
Mark, you say it's not just one thing, but if I could ask specifically to the quarterback situation and the optics, obviously with Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl, how much did that whole situation of your quarterback room in its entirety weigh in this decision as multiple aspects of you making this change?
I'll just say it again. It really, it's not necessarily a fair thing to talk about any one decision, and that's the way we approach it. It's a body of work. It's a cumulative set of decisions. It's 4 years of where we've been, and we as ownership, and I know our fans feel it, and our entire organization feels, we need to get to a better place. And this is strictly an ownership and organizational decision that we feel this is the best path going forward. It's not about one player, one decision, one draft pick. It's about organizationally what we can do the best for our organization and our fans.
Mark, you make the decision last May to give Kwesi the extension. When you talk about the entirety of the last 4 years, what specifically changed from the decision to give him an extension last May to fire him this week?
Well, it's always a cumulative decision, but again, it's just having another season of information here, and we just did not feel like going into another off season with this structure was the best decision. So that's how it came about.
Hey, Mark. Moving forward in the short term and long term, will Kevin report directly to you guys or to the general manager in place?
Well, like I said, Rob will be the point person on all the football operations. Of course, ownership, we're maintaining the structure we have. The personnel decisions are led by the personnel and the operations department with coaches' significant input. But we, of course, as ownership are certainly engaged, and we're in constant communication with Rob, coach, and other members of our staff. So that's the way we're going about it.
All right, we'll turn to Dave, followed by Chip and Mark.
Mark, separate from decision making, I'm just wondering, considering Kwesi had a kind of an atypical background in the NFL, if there is an element of this that was just a fit as far as how he works with and other more traditional football people work kind of on the whole operation.
Well, again, we're looking at the totality of it. Kwesi's a forward thinker. Great respect for him as his person and his family, and it's a difficult day here, but going forward, it was really about a fit situation and the best path going forward. So that's the way we came about it. Like I said, we have strong people in the organization, all of them football-oriented, many data-oriented, analytics-oriented. We have a lot of tremendous talent in this building, and I'm confident and optimistic as my brother, our ownership, we're all very confident moving forward and optimistic that we have a nucleus here we can build off of with the team we have, the players we have, and to move us forward in a positive direction. This was the best way to do it.
Mark, you talked about having your year-end season review with everybody, including the football department. How much did you find that there was tension between the front office and the football staff, coaching staff, and maybe not being on the same page?
Well, there's all kinds of dynamics that go on in a building, but I will tell you that there's a lot of respect and personal appreciation, and the relationship's all good. This is about strictly from a professional standpoint, what will give our football team and our fans the best chance to win Super Bowls. And we wanted to go in a different direction in terms of how we move forward. That's strictly what this is about, strictly a business decision. We have a lot of respect for every person in this building, including Kwesi and his family. And so this was about what's best to move us forward as an organization.
Yeah, Mark, it's this is similar to kind of along the lines of what Dave was talking about. When Kwesi was hired, it was kind of an outside the box. It was hailed as kind of a different hire outside the box. Wondering what, I'm sure every time you make as you go along, you learn things and that you use for the next step. What did you learn from this hire that you're going to use to make the next hire?
Well, we're going to be thorough in the hiring process going forward, and so that means we're going to self-scout how we've done it in the past, make sure we hear from every aspect of how to go about picking our next GM, and we're going to learn from it, and we're going to make sure we're thorough. And that's partly why we need to get to work now, combine coming up, free agency, draft. And so we want to make sure that we have full focus on that, and we expressed that to the entire staff as recently as this morning to make sure we're focused on that. At the same time, we're going to begin to set up for that process right after the draft to make sure we have the right people. And yes, there's always learnings in any business when you hire, when things don't work out, and we're going to lean on that experience to make it work going forward.
All right, let's go with Kevin, and then Ben and Dave.
Yeah, Mark, do you think Rob Brzezinski is a candidate for the general manager job? And thinking larger, do you think you'll keep the same basic structure in terms of splitting of duties and decision making as you've sort of traditionally had?
I would tell you most likely yes, but we're not going to close the door on anything at this point. And so, Rob is someone with a tremendous amount of experience. He's been over a quarter century in this league. We have a lot of confidence in him. We also have a lot of confidence in our entire football operations. All the people that work in our staff are high-level professionals, top evaluators with a lot of experience. So it's going to be an open process. We're not going to shut any doors at this point. And I can tell you the kind of organization and the kind of building we have here, I know it's going to be a highly desirable situation for someone to come into and lead us going forward.
When you said most likely yes, are you referring to Rob being a candidate or to the same structure that you're going to have?
I think open to both, and like I said, open to anything. But I would tell you, we do lean toward the fact to have a traditional role where the GM is the decision maker with extremely heavy input from the head coach and the coaching staff. So we like that structure. That's how we're going to approach it going forward. And again, if something comes up and we want to be nimble as an ownership, like I say, we always view ourselves as stewards of a franchise that a lot of people care about, and especially to our fans. We owe it to them and we owe it to ourselves. We're all accountable here. Ownership, coaches, personnel, the entire organization to deliver a winner and championships, and that's how we're going to go at this every single day.
Mark, I know you said it wasn't about one particular move, but relative to the level of alignment on the quarterback decision, did you feel like there was a lack of alignment last year at all, or were you concerned about the possibility of further quarterback decisions being difficult to make if Kwesi was still here?
Without getting into the particulars of any decision, I think all of us in this building have accountability on every decision that's made here. So, like I said before, and I'll circle back to it, it's not about any single one decision. We have a lot of decisions to make every single day, and the quarterback decision is one of the most important that's made. But this is about a totality of work and what organization allows us to keep moving forward and making proper decisions going forward. So everyone has accountability in this building for every decision that's made, and that's how we approach it. Everything is done collaboratively. And that's how we want it to happen, with full input from all the experience here. And when the decision is made, everyone is held accountable to it.
Mark, in your mind, what does make this such a critical off season?
Well, there's a lot of things going on, but certainly we're positioned to have a significant number of draft picks. We do have a nucleus of players that is extremely solid here. And so, as we pivot to next season, of course, every offseason is critical, but we're excited here about the possibilities with the draft capital we now have, and taking a hard look at free agency and where we can supplement given the parameters in the league. So we're excited about it, but we have to get it right. We need young players that we can build on for the future and keep this thing moving forward. We've had some success, but certainly we're disappointed where we were this past season, and we know our fans want a lot more, and we certainly want a lot more.
We'll go last three questions with Chip, Mark, and Kevin.
Mark, do you believe that Kevin O'Connell needs to have a pretty significant say or impact on this decision? Who's the next GM?
Well, Chip, I will tell you that this decision was 100% an ownership decision. This is about our organization and how we set up for success going forward. Coach O'Connell, we have all the confidence in the world in Coach O'Connell. He's done an excellent job as our head coach. But we need to have the entire organization, and he included, everyone is accountable here. And so we need to move forward, support the team we have now, and make sure we compete and strive. And this was the way we came about with the decision. But make no mistake, this was strictly an ownership and organizational decision.
Yeah, Mark is wondering if circle back to Rob, his expertise as your cap guy, does that help him or hurt him if you decide that maybe he's a serious candidate? I mean, can he do both roles?
The way we view this role, it's about leadership and leading a team, like I said, an excellent team of personnel, coaches, scouts, all the rest. And he's going to lead. He's going to build a collaborative team, work with the team we have, and that's where the expertise comes in here. So he knows where he's strong at, and he's going to know with his experience where he can lean on. And there are a lot of people to lean on in this building. So, like I said, we have tremendous confidence, and I'm very confident in Rob as point person with Coach O'Connell and our entire football staff that we'll be able to navigate this well and move us forward.
I guess I meant him getting a job permanently. I understand you trust him to navigate this period, but if he were to become, like, say, if you said his experience, maybe he could be a GM, but you need as a cap guy too. I guess.
Not gonna. I respect the question, but not going to rule anything in, not going to rule anything out at this time. We have so much work to do in the next 3 months and make sure we get the free agency and the draft, all of that exactly right. That's where we've told our entire football staff that's where our focus has to be. And we'll set up the processes and be very thorough and not ruling anything out going forward.
Yeah, Mark, I respect that the decision was 100% made by ownership, but I wonder if anyone outside of ownership suggested to you that Kwesi should be fired or that you should consider firing Kwesi.
No one was suggesting that Kwesi this or Kwesi that. We are in touch with everyone in the building, sensing the dynamic, how people work together. I think again, it's a good collaborative situation. People get along here. Everything was good. It's strictly a professional decision on where we think the dynamic was best going forward. So yes, we got input from everybody, but nobody said, "Hey, you got to fire." Got to fire. I mean, it was about, as ownership, we said, we're not satisfied. We need to be better as an organization, and this is the direction we have to go.